Okay, this is a little trick on how to find all the major keys or all the major scales on the piano. The first thing that we need to go over are the smallest intervals that you're going to be working with. Basically the space in between notes. You can either skip a note or you can not skip a note. You can either go from one key to the very next or you can skip that black key. Sometimes we call the skips whole steps or half steps for the no skips. And then in Europe they call it, or wherever across the pond or whatever, whole tones versus semitones. And so next we have the major scale pattern. This is the C major scale, and you can see how we go whole step, half step, whole step, half step. 2 whole steps, 1 half step, 3 whole steps, 1 half step. And of course that can be a little bit confusing, and you'll remember that over time, but we'll get to the trick that I'm talking about in a second. If you start on the C note that we talked about in one of my other lessons, where it's easy to find that, you can basically play your thumb, your first finger, and then your middle finger. When you get to the middle finger, you bring your thumb underneath to the next key, and then you play that, and then you reset your fingers on all the white keys. Finish all the way to your pinky. And then when you want to come back, you go pinky, you go all the way back to the thumb, and bring the middle finger over top. Reset, and then you can finish. Basically, the trick is this. When you go from your thumb to your first finger, you know that there's a whole step. First finger to middle finger is another whole step. When you make the transition, you don't skip a key. You go to the very next key. And then all the way down until you get to your ring finger, they're whole steps. And then when you get from the ring finger to the pinky, we get a half step at the end. So you can start on any key and follow that pattern. Play this note, we'll skip that white key, skip that black key, and then once we've gotten to the middle finger, we're going to the very next finger to transition, then another skip, another whole step, another whole step again, and then going from the ring finger to the pinky, half step. And so that's how we found the D sharp major scale. Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. And you can do that with all the different keys. You start on a note and you follow that pattern. And now you can at least figure out the notes to all the major keys on the piano.